So for those of you who have followed my channel for a while, we know that both Cecilia and Shirley, which is what I've named my frequent zits, they like to grace us with their presence every once in a while, and today they're having a family reunion. A full-on friggin' full-fledged family reunion on my face and neck. If you watched my last video, the pumpkin spice video, that was a week prior, and was it on this side? Oh god, now I don't remember. Anyway, that was an old zit. Then I went to New York for the last 6 days, and I've had an eruption. This is my body rebelling against me for feeding it exclusively pasta and Shake Shack for 6 days. This is Shirley and Cecilia. They're like, give us a vegetable, girlfriend. Give us a vegetable. So I did post this on Instagram, and I was actually just gonna film like another new makeup thing because I picked up some exciting new makeup in New York. But a lot of people were sliding into the DMs asking me how I deal with my zits when these do come about. And so I thought that I would kind of make this a half and half. I'm gonna show you guys how I cover my zits, what I do when this family reunion happens, and then play with a bit of, well, specifically New Victoria Beckham. Some new makeup at the end for the eyeballs. So this is today's video right here. Just right here, fam. I'm just gonna leave this here. Okay, perfect. Shirley, Cecilia, you've had your shining moment. Now you can be gone. If you haven't been following me for a while, I use toothpaste on my zits. I put toothpaste on my zits, and I know it always receives so much backlash whenever I talk about it, which in general, I receive a lot of skincare backlash and comments. I used to do, like years ago, I used to do monthly skincare updates. It was while I was on Epirus, which was a strain of Accutane, and those were actually demonetized from YouTube because apparently there was some legal battle with Accutane and drugs and whatever. And I used to just get so many comments and opinions about my skincare, and one of them being mainly the fact that I use toothpaste on my zits. So that still holds true. I still use my Colgate whitening toothpaste and I still put them on my zits, but for the most part, aside from all of that, I really try to not change up my skincare too much at all when I am suffering from breakouts. I think the biggest thing that I do is I will use some kind of like calming clearing mask. I have a few. None of my brands have changed. They're still true from my previous bathroom kind of cupboard tour. And then I just soothe my skin with my most beloved cream, usually Fresh Creme Ancienne. And I'll put an oil and I will just soak them and love my skin and soothe it until the zits go away, and just try and drink a couple more green juices in the meantime. So I pretty much just let them ride it out, but I do think that because I soak my face in oil on the daily is why I haven't had too much bad scarring. I've been having a big breakout though. Like these are all live or very recently dead zits. Yeah. Anyway, so I pretty much just don't change anything too badly with the skincare. I know that there are zit patches available on Amazon. I know that people use X, Y, and Z zit clearing things. I just find that my zits go away the best when I don't change up my skincare too much at all. So let's do that. For my base, I'm gonna do what I've been using for the last while, the Vichy Mineral 89 and the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Tint, which will give me a little warm glow all over my face. I'm already halfway through that bad boy. She has been loved. And I just mix the two in my finger puppets, and I just put it all over my skin, right over. Oh my god, they're so, honestly, this one I've popped 3 times today. It just keeps refilling. It's crazy. I think ultimately I also just need to say this, that I am not a dermatologist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a skincare expert, whatever. I think the best thing to do is take everything with a grain of salt and do what feels best for your skin. It's a lot of trial and error and figuring out what your skin likes and dislikes. And I think that people can tell you what they want, but at the end of the day, you have to find a concoction or ways of life and dealing with zits that works for you. So that's that. I spread that little base on my skin, give it some hydration and warmth. And then, so I was just in New York with Clinique, and I love the Even Better Refresh and the Even Better Glow foundations. They are a little bit more full coverage, so I typically do use a more full coverage foundation when I'm having moments like these. Otherwise, I like a more thin coverage, light coverage, tinted moisturizer. So I'm gonna take the Even Better Makeup, which I actually had color matched to me at their laboratory, which I think really picked up a lot of my bronzer in that little fun machine, but I was matched to WN46. It may be a little bit deeper. My face is lighter than my neck and my body. Actually, Dan and I were out playing tennis today, and I think I got quite a nice little tint on my shoulders, so my face will match down there, okay? Also, it has my name on it. How cute is that? Not sponsored, not an ad at all. But they gave me a foundation with my name on the lid, and that's cute. So what I am going to do with this, because it is a more full coverage foundation, I do actually really enjoy this one blended out with my fingers, and I don't mind that at all, but I do have my beauty sponge, so I am going to take that. I just applied the product with my fingers, and then I'm going to use this as a nice all over base and blend it out. I also really need to wash my brushes, which could be a major source of my zit woes as well. That's a really big thing. If you don't wash your brushes, that's nasty. It can cause zits. Oh yeah, the finish of this is so good. It's so good. And apparently it is supposed to make your skin better over time. It's a beautiful combination of the two. We learned all about it in the Clinique lab, which was fun. So that is the base. I always like to go over with an all over base and just even out the skin tone, make sure that everything else is taken care of, and then you're not gonna go too overboard with concealer on the affected spots. But that kind of depends on how I'm feeling on that day. Sometimes I like to be specific and go ahead and spot conceal. Sometimes I just like to take a really thick full coverage concealer and just go wham damn on the whole area. It depends how fabulous I want to feel. But for the most part, I try to take a concealer that will be more on the matte side. It's not going to highlight the spot, so the NARS Soft Matte Concealer is one of my favorites for that. I have this in the shade Custard, and I just take my finger and I plop it around the affected areas, which seems to be in a lot of places right now. And then I do need a little bit on my chin. My chin is always so red. My chinny chin chin. And you can kind of use your fingers, use your beauty sponge, whatever you wish. And I just put the majority of the product directly onto the spot, and then I'll kind of blend the edges around with my finger or the sponge or the brush, whatever you have. Obviously make sure that your hands are nice and clean first. So I just blend that around like so that the, again, majority of the product stays on the zit itself. And you're not buffing it away too much. And I mean, these are mountains. This is a mountain. It's having its peak. It's like a lighthouse at the top, honestly. But all I can do is try my best to tone down the redness as much as possible, so that, like, kind of from far away, you're like, does she have a zit? Well, I don't know. We can't tell. And then you look up close and you're like, oh, yeah. But that's pretty much all I do, you guys. I just blot around using a nice, more matte, thick coverage concealer. Like so. And then for my under eyes, I do use a separate concealer. I'm going to take the RMS Uncover Up Concealer and just use this under the eyes on the bags. Just blend that right on top of the bag, and then I blend it up into the tear duct, trying to counteract and brighten that area. I love this the most blended out with my finger, but it also works really well with a brush and whatever else you choose to use with it. That's pretty much the gist of it, you guys. That's just how I deal with my zits. I do this and then I wait till they go away. For the rest of my base makeup, I'm gonna zip through this really quick because you guys know I've been using the same products for a hot minute. This is the Tom Ford shade in Illuminate. I am gonna take this with my beauty sponge today and just blend that on top, because I actually haven't washed my brushes. They're sitting here in a giant pile and they're disgusting. And that's actually why I'm using cream products today, because I can't use my brushes. I'm forcing myself to not use them until I wash them, which needs to happen tonight. So I'm gonna do some cream action with my beauty sponge and try not to wipe away all the concealer we just put on our zits. And then for blush and highlighter, I'm going to use the Kosas 8th Muse blush palette, which is actually all I brought with me to New York. I've been loving this little palette lately, and the highlighter is equally as beautiful as the blush. I'm so enjoying both. I love the bright freshness of the blush. I think it's such a pretty color, and I have been wearing it so much. I've actually made quite a good dent in that blush side. Just going to dip the beauty sponge into there. And that is going to be it for the base, you guys. That is all I'm going to do. I'm not going to set it with powder. I'm going to leave it to chill. I actually really love the finish of this Clinique Even Better Makeup foundation. I find that it's lovely. and I don't have to powder with it, and then I just don't want to irritate my skin any more than I already have, and it's just, now we can just do this with that side. There you go. That's how I cover my zits. Put my hair down. I'm just kidding, but kind of not. Okay, yeah, that's the base, you guys. That's all we're gonna do. I'm gonna move on to the brows, Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil, and then I'm gonna use the Hourglass Arch Brow Volumizing Fiber Gel. I have this in the shade Blonde. I'm going to fill in my eyebrows. Okay, so the eyebrows are on. Let us move on to the eyes. I wanted to talk about Victoria Beckham Beauty. I made an order. It actually launched perfectly. It timed perfectly with my arrival in New York. I know she did that just for me. Yeah, anyway, she had express shipping, full free. It's free shipping over $50 in the United States. So the day it launched over the weekend, I overnight shipped it to my hotel. You guys in the States, you have amazing shipping options. So I picked up a few of the things. She seems to have launched only eye products. So there were 4 Smokey eye bricks in the launch, 4 lid lusters, and 3 eyeliners. I ordered 3 of the Smokey eye bricks, 3 of the lid lusters, and 1 eyeliner. I did not order the entire collection. And like you would expect from Victoria Beckham, I'm such a fan of her. Her clothing lines are so stunning. She is a high fashion luxury woman, and she creates beautiful, beautiful fashion and clothing pieces, and I expected nothing less from her own beauty collection. Her previous launches with Estee Lauder in the past have been stunning and have also been at a very high price point, so I did expect that from her beauty line, which is why I honestly wanted to really see the products, play with them, and see if they were worth their price point, which honestly, there's so much amazing beauty out there. It's never necessary to spend an aggressive amount on beauty when you have so many pieces and options available to you, but it's more so if you want it, if you want the luxe packaging, and if you want to support the person behind the brand. So it's totally up to you how you want to spend your money and what you want to spend it on, but just note, yes, the Victoria Beckham Beauty products are on the pricier side, and I did want to dive a little deep into it. They claim to be sustainable and clean. She's really promoting the clean beauty aspect of it, which again, like I mentioned in a recent video, everyone kind of has their own definition of what clean beauty is. There's not really a unanimous guideline or rule for what clean beauty is, so they actually have a whole section on their website, which you guys can check out. It's under clean beauty, and they kind of go through what their definition is, what they have a whole list of excluded ingredients from their products, and then they also have a list of which products of theirs are fully vegan. I don't think they've claimed any of their products to be fully natural, and I actually wanted to read this out because I thought this was great. And this is what their definition of clean beauty is. It says, natural ingredients are not all safe, and synthetic ingredients are not all unsafe. Anyway, in terms of the packaging and whatnot, they try to do mostly post-consumer recycled materials. The products came in a bag like this, and it came in a recycled small cardboard box. The packaging was lovely, very minimal, very simple. Yeah, these all came in this lovely bag. So as for the products, the one thing, okay, I was really excited. They really took you guys remember when Hourglass first launched their eyeshadow palettes? All of the shadows in the palette were all connected. There was no separation from them. So I was actually surprised that she did that, because I know at the time Hourglass received a lot of backlash just in terms of like colors bleeding into one another. So I was surprised she did that. I don't really care either way. It doesn't bother me, but I know a lot of people get upset by that. But I was mainly shocked at the size of the palette. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting it to be this small. But this is the Smokey Eye Brick. This one in particular is in the shade Royal. Really, really beautiful, beautiful. Very heavy, like solid packaging. These are the shadows inside. So this one's the shade Royal. This one is the shade Tweed. Really beautiful warm shades in here. Same packaging on the outside. And this is the shade Tuxedo, which I actually think is a lovely business palette. This is what I associate business with. Like, this is what I'd wear if I was wearing a power suit to an office. The lid lusters, I mean, obviously I'm like such a fan of any of these kind of sparkle shimmer things, but the packaging of these is just beautiful. It's that same kind of tortoiseshell design and a little black pot with that tortoiseshell lid and a VB on it. It's just beautiful. I picked up the shades Onyx, which was the black, Midnight, which is the blue, this shimmery blue, and also the shade Mink. which I'm very excited about. This is Mink here. I'm not a huge eyeliner wearer, but I was really excited about this shade. It's in Bordeaux, which is a really beautiful, like wine colored, very creamy. It's a very, very creamy eyeliner. This is the shade Bordeaux. I thought that was a really unique shade and I wanted to get my hands on it for sure. It is so creamy. It's actually like looks wet on here when you're drawing it. It's just like, bloop. It is so creamy and it has a little sponge smudger on the other side. So those are all the products I picked up from Victoria Beckham. Let me know what you guys think on the launch. What are your thoughts? Give me the full rundown on what you guys think at the products below. We're gonna dive in and do a little mini playtime, but I mainly just wanted to give you an overview and show you the products I picked up. So I'm gonna be lame and skip the blue for now, but I am gonna put that away for a rainy day. Obviously, let me know in the comments down below if you wanna do that. I'm gonna dive in just a little bit to Tuxedo, I think. Yeah, just a little bit. I don't want to do anything too crazy. I really wanted this video in its entirety to be skin focused, but yeah, okay, there's a lot of fallout there. I'm just gonna place this shade all over the lid. It's such luxe packaging. And I actually, I don't know why I'm not necessarily bothered by the size of these, but I think they're perfect for travel because they're really not gonna take up any room. And you know, Tweed is like my favorite little mix of colors here, which maybe we'll dive into a little bit actually. But I could really see myself happily traveling with that and an eyeliner and that being it, which is nice. They really thought of the women on the go with the size of this packaging. Or maybe Victoria Beckham's just very petite and just wanted a smaller palette. I don't know. Maybe I will just dip into a little bit of both. I just want to take a little bit of that warmer brown into the crease because I always love a little bit of warmth. I'm gonna use this darker gray and I'm just gonna put that on the outside of the lid. Just gonna pop that on the outer niblets. They're blending out so nicely. Like I've got no complaint about the actual look and feel. Like it's a lovely formula. Okay, let's move on to the lid lusters. I'm gonna take the shade Mink. I'm just gonna press that. Honestly, it's darker than I thought it would be, but what I'm gonna do is kind of just try to blend it out a little bit, sheer it out a little bit, just so we have a nice like gray toned shimmer. But I think that the warmth in that first shadow from Tweed will help it. It's very lovely. I love like whenever I see a shimmery lid product, I just squeal. They're my favorite. And this is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I've been loving all of the images that they've been posting on the Instagram account. It's beautiful. The blues look stunning. Okay, then I'm gonna take some of the Bordeaux liner. Oh, it's so creamy. Now, and I'm speaking and saying this before I actually try it, but I think that it's so creamy that you could actually only use this to smudge it. I'm just using the other side of the pencil to smudge this in, but I don't know how effective this would be at actually creating a wing because it is so creamy. I kind of like that, a little hint of red there. It's kind of cool. But for someone like me who loves to smudge liners out on the lash line, this is like perfect because I don't feel like I'm tugging at my eyelid at all. I don't feel like I'm hurting my eyeball. It's just easy to blend out. Love that. So then I'm going to finish off with mascara. And then for lips, I'm gonna, sorry, I was just testing the color. I wanted to make sure it was the one I wanted. This is the Maybelline Superstay Ink Crayon in the shade Enjoy the View. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and rub it through. I love this formula. It's really gorgeous. Oh, and I really like this color. It's a nice warmer nude, but these are very creamy and very pigmented. So I wanna have a really soft lip with this eye, which is why I'm just taking my finger out. Kind of blending it in instead of applying it with full pigment. I feel like it gives such a different effect and look. Yes, Very, very nice. Alright guys, and this completes the makeup look. This is the finished look. These are my zits covered by my hair. Just a few little things that I do to deal with a larger breakout. Try not to dwell on it too much. This too shall pass. And just a few initial thoughts and feelings on the new Victoria Beckham beauty collection, which I think is lovely. I actually am really thrilled with how this makeup look turned out. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know all your thoughts and feelings. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye! If I just ignore them, they go away, right?